plump lips.
Ooh,
I'm not going to kiss you this morning, Shannon, though, but I will hug you for having me on HSN today. I love spending the morning with you.
So glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Well, we not only have Valerie as our special co-host, we have a really special guest here today, and Heather Cabot. Of course, it's August. It's right around the corner, and HSN is celebrating an entire month of making people's American dreams come true. So in honor of celebrating American dreams, where better to find dreams coming true than in Silicon Valley,
right? But you don't have to just be in Silicon Valley. You can actually dream big. And Heather Cabot wrote an amazing book, and we have her as our special guest this morning. We're going to chat with Heather this morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
Heather.
Good morning, Heather. So what an interesting book, all about bold women visionaries who have really forged the way in the tech industry.
Yes, and women that you may not have heard of, right? This isn't about Sheryl Sandberg. This isn't about Marissa Mayer. This is about women working at the grassroots level who are launching their own tech startups, investing in each other's ventures, and crushing male hacker stereotypes, and in addition, building a network to rival the boys club.
We love that. That's good to read.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It used to be an all-boys world, but listen, there's a lot of spaces for us, and we are taking those spaces now with Geek Girl Rising, which is the book that we have this morning that Heather wrote. It's the best price you can get anywhere, $17.95 on 2 flex pay, less than $10. So how did Geek Girl Rising really come into existence, Heather?
Well, it was certainly a long time in the making, I do have to say. I mean, this is over 5 years of research, close to 300 interviews that my co-author and I conducted. My co-author's name is Samantha Walravens. So the book was really inspired in many ways by our daughters. I have 2 kids. Sam has 4 kids. That's one of her daughters right there. You know, that's my daughter, Sam. Our girls are digital natives, right? They don't know life before the iPhone, right? Before Amazon. They don't know what life was like before YouTube. And, you know, we were aware that in the tech industry, the number of women, you know, has continued to be pretty small. Only about a quarter of the industry jobs are filled by women. And
why is that?
Well, there's a lot of different reasons, but you hit on it before. You know, Silicon Valley really has evolved as a very insular and in many cases sexist boys club. And so that's right, we got to take them down, and that's what we do in this book. We write about these rebels, these women who have not allowed sexism to stand in their way of their dreams, of building their dreams.
And there are still so many amazing women innovators out there. So what did you discover, and who did you discover as you were writing this book?
Well, first of all, we discovered that there were way too many stories to even put in a book. I mean, I think that was one of the most amazing takeaways. Yeah, so I think, you know, in the face of sexism, in the face of the fact that, you know, women are not paid the same as men, it's hard for female founders to raise money, to fund their big ideas. What we found is that there's a number of women out there that have said, you know what, we're not going to wait to break into the boys club. We're going to form our own girls club. And that's what they've done in this book. And so we divide the book into 7 chapters. We look at founders, investors, what's going on college campuses. Exactly.
That's a big point.
Yes.
I have to say, when I chatted with Heather earlier, I thought, oh my gosh, what a great gift for a high school student, a college student, or if maybe you've graduated college and you're like, what do I do now? I mean, this is for women of all ages.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really is. Well, you know what? I want to get inside the cover because I know you interviewed over 250 women for this. Of course, it's inspiring, but let's start with Debbie Sterling.
Right, so Debbie Sterling, for those of you who don't know, Debbie Sterling is the founder and CEO of a company called Goldie Blocks. And Goldie Blocks is the first engineering toy that features a female engineer character. In the past, right, we all know about the boy geniuses, right? But Goldie, who's the main character of this set of toys, is this cool modern-day MacGyver, curly-haired inventor who solves problems with her friends. And so all of the toys are built around Goldie and stories around Goldie and her friends. And the reason why we chose Debbie is because when Debbie came up with this idea initially, the toy industry, toy companies basically thought she was crazy. They said, nobody's going to buy this. This is too niche. Right. And so, you know what? She wasn't able to raise the money initially to fund the first run of production, and she went to Kickstarter. And when she went to Kickstarter, her original idea was she was going to try to raise $100,000. She ended up raising raising $285,000. And within 6 months, Goldie Blox was on toy shelves. And now, and you may know, but they were featured in a Super Bowl ad. There are now books. There's a coding game. There are all kinds of things. It's become an award-winning brand. And it's because she did not let the fact that people said no to her stand in her way.
Right.
That's super inspiring.
Right. For people, whether they're in tech or not in tech, anything that we have going on in our lives, it's important to be inspired by these women who really have just sort of bucked the trends and gone against all the odds. So one other one real quickly, we've got Donna Sarkar. We want to hear about her about the streaming thing.
So what's cool about Donna is not only is she considered, you know, sort of, she's a hardware engineer, she's a lead engineer at Microsoft, she's also a fashion designer, and she's also a novelist, and amazingly, she failed her first computer science class.
I love it.
Failed her first computer science class and went back, took it again, and basically, you know, her message to women out there is that, you know, yes, this can be intimidating, it doesn't have to be, and just because you make a mistake, it doesn't mean that you should forget about your goal. You've got to keep trying. And that's one of the biggest takeaways of this book is that resilience and that grit that anybody can relate to, no matter, you know, whether you're a young woman or somebody else trying to reinvent themselves and get back into the workforce.
Right. And that's so big for so many women and everything. You know, maybe you've been out of the workforce for a while, whether it's going back into tech or not. Tech just, it so touches all of our lives. So this is an amazing price on the book, but if you have one message for all of the women out there, our customers, their daughters, everybody, what would it be?
My message is, if you have an idea and you've had that idea in the back of your head and you're afraid to go for it because maybe it's not perfect or maybe you haven't crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, go for it. Put it out there. Tell people about it. And that's what so many of these women did in this book. They didn't let fear stand in the way.
And you can get that sisterhood, that common goal, that really inspiring all the stories in the book. Less than $9 to get it home. Thank you so much, Heather. This is amazing what you're doing to really bring us all together and forge us to the top. Move over, boys.
Yes. Girl power.
That's right. That's right. We love it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Well, speaking of